told your friend you're not okay.
Army shocked. Jungkook appeared in a black hoodie, slightly messy hair, a relaxed face, and a tired yet warm voice. He opened the live with a small smile and said, "I just want to cook and chat a little," but from the moment those words came out, Army sensed something different. It was unusual for Jungkook to look so nervous just making chicken stir-fries. His hands trembled slightly a few times, and he kept smiling as if he were hiding something. And sure enough, after about 5 minutes into the live, Jungkook began making a gesture that made the entire army spontaneously sit up straight, stop breathing, and focus fully on the screen. While stirring the food, Jungkook suddenly said quietly, "You guys have to be prepared, okay, the next few months might be very tiring." The words came out in a tone far too serious for a casual live. Army immediately flooded the comments with question marks, eye emojis, and spam, "What does that mean, JK?" But Jungkook just chuckled, looked down, and pretended to be busy with the pan. At this point, the atmosphere immediately changed. Everyone knows Jungkook never talks nonsense. He's not the type of idol to throw around meaningless words. Every word Jungkook says, especially when delivered with that expression, always has something behind it. The tension escalated when Jungkook picked up a plate, moved his food, and suddenly said, "You guys, you'll see. I can't tell you now." And what made the live broadcast even more insane was Jungkook's gaze afterward. He stared at the camera for a long, long time, smiling like someone holding back a big secret. Army immediately exploded. Comments turned into theories, speculation, and in-depth analysis like professional detectives. Some said it was a sign of a comeback, others a sign of a major international collaboration, but the majority of Army immediately concluded one thing: it was a sign of a concert. And the reason was compelling. First, Jungkook suddenly mentioned a schedule that might be tiring for many people. Second, the way he emphasized the words, "You guys have to be ready," sounded like a sweet warning before a big announcement. Third, Jungkook never discusses an intense work schedule unless it's related to a major activity like album promotions or a tour. The most chilling thing was when Jungkook finished eating and was clearing the table, when he added a sentence that made many 99% certain that a global solo concert was being planned. "I miss your voices so much, not just one country, but all of them." The word "all" sent shivers down the spines of global armies. Jungkook wouldn't have said that if he was referring only to Korean fans. He also wouldn't have talked about all the voices from all countries if the plans were just for a local fan meeting or regular digital content. Since the live ended, top K-pop timelines have been filled with clips of Jungkook staring at the camera, his small smiles, and his mysterious remarks that felt too strategic for a typical cooking live. Many K-pop analysts have even weighed in, noting that Jungkook's style of speaking this time is very similar to how big idols give subtle hints before international announcements. And let's be honest, nothing makes more sense than a global tour. Jungkook is one of the most powerful performers of his generation. His solo albums have been a huge success, his streaming records have broken numerous records, and demand for his solo concerts has been growing for a long time. Armies have repeatedly asked Big Hit to give Jungkook a special tour, and if you look at how he speaks during that live, it's as if he's been practicing, holding back a big secret that's ready to be revealed at any moment. Even the way he pauses, thinks for a moment, and then smiles before saying, "I can't talk right now," feels like someone who wants to reveal something, but is under a contract to remain silent. And the most interesting part of the live, when Jungkook is about to end the broadcast, he leans in close to the camera, his face filling the screen, and says in a low voice that leaves hundreds of thousands of armies breathless, "Later, you'll know why I'm cooking tonight. This is just the beginning." That line immediately trended globally. Many believe Jungkook deliberately did that live as a form of warm-up, a way to appear natural, build rapport, and hint at a big announcement that would shake the fandom. And to this day, armies still replay the live, looking for other hidden clues, from the way Jungkook cuts onions, to his hand movements while looking at the camera, to his choice of words. It all feels like an incomplete puzzle, but the main pieces are clear. Jungkook is preparing for something very big, and Army believes it is the global solo concert he has been waiting for. And interestingly, after the live broadcast ended, it was the little things outside the broadcast that further strengthened the suspicion that Jungkook was hiding something much bigger than just a cooking session. Army began to notice strange things that didn't usually happen. For example, several HYBE staff were seen online on internal platforms at the same time Jungkook was live, as if monitoring something. Even some very observant fans noticed that the lighting in Jungkook's kitchen seemed slightly different, brighter, cleaner, as if it were being prepared for a special occasion. Many suspected that HYBE had deliberately staged the live as a soft signal before a major marketing strategy was announced. And the culmination of all this speculation came when ARMY began connecting Jungkook's remarks in the live broadcast to BTS's global activities as a group. We all know that after busy periods and various major projects, each member has an individual path that slowly begins to take a new direction. Jungkook, with his incredible vocal and stage presence, was the one most prepared for an international tour. And when he said, "I miss your voices from all over the world," it felt like more than just a simple longing, but the honesty of someone who had already seen the schedule in front of him. ARMY didn't stop there, but they also noticed Jungkook's change in demeanor when he mentioned the words, "tired," and "prepare yourself." The way he blinked more rapidly, the slightly lower pitch of his voice, and the way he stared at the camera, as if to make sure all his fans heard the message. It was the kind of look Jungkook usually gives when he wants to give a hint without actually saying it. Some fans even suspected that the cooking live wasn't just a live, but rather a test of the atmosphere. Jungkook wanted to see how quickly ARMY would respond, how enthusiastic the reactions would be, and how much enthusiasm would still remain after so long without a major announcement. And the ARMY response? It was certainly extraordinary. Within minutes, every platform was engulfed in a wave of theories, analysis, and collective hysteria that was barely under control. Top Kpop itself even recorded a surge in discussions, reaching hundreds of thousands of interactions in just a few hours. And ironically, as if to add fuel to the speculation, several global publicity accounts, such as charting accounts, major fanbase groups, and even international music journalists, also focused on the live. They all agreed that Jungkook looked like someone holding a secret that was ready to explode at any moment. Even foreign music industry analysts are suggesting that Jungkook is in pre-announcement mode, the stage where an artist begins to make periodic appearances, dropping small hints, slowly building hype, and preparing for a big move. Meanwhile, ARMYs began to notice one additional detail that truly sent shivers down everyone's spines. Jungkook repeatedly touched the table where a roll of white paper lay folded in the corner of his kitchen. It might seem insignificant, but eagle-eyed fans noticed that the paper had a small logo in the corner, a logo that resembled that of HYBE's stage production team. Was it a coincidence? Or was Jungkook accidentally revealing a snippet of the concert stage concept plan? Granted, we can't be sure. But for ARMYs, those signs were more than enough to discern the bigger picture being prepared. And just as all those theories were starting to gather steam, a few hours after the live ended, Jungkook made an even more suspicious move. He posted on Weverse with the short sentence, "Today is fun. Are you ready?" That one short sentence alone was enough to send the entire fandom into a tailspin. The word "ready," which he repeated repeatedly, both in live shows and in posts, felt like the dot connecting all the pieces of a puzzle. And the more you think about it, the clearer it becomes that Jungkook isn't playing around. He's preparing for a new stage, one much bigger than just a song release or a special performance. Everything he does, from the casual live show that suddenly turns intense, to the mysterious choice of words, to the coded glances, to the suspicious activities of HYBE staff behind the scenes, all point to the same thing. This is the beginning of Jungkook's concert era.
It hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.